Alright, so in this tutorial we're going to work on this white box in here. Notice the rounded corners, and notice the opacity. You can see through it. Okay. Now, again, we're going to start by looking at our HTML document. Very quickly, we have our parent or super text box or div. That is called main content, and inside that there's a number of child or subordinate or sub div boxes or div or text boxes. And of particular interest is links outside, which we dealt with, and links outside is in turn not only a sub or child of main content, but it's a parent to links inside. Alright, so we're going to work on this one here. So this one's called links inside. So the first thing I need to do is to copy that, bring it to my CSS. Alright, and logically we go right underneath this one. Okay, so I'm going to paste it there, number sign, paste it, open and close that div. Now what are we going to do for positioning in this one? Links outside. Alright, so this one here, if you go back to your Google search, alright, and then if you search for CSS 10 easy positioning, okay, there we go, 10 easy steps. You click on this, okay, if you read relative, this is the one that we're going to use. Alright, if you specify relative position, you can use a top, bottom, left, or right. Move the element relative to where it would normally occur in the document. Okay, so we want to move this one here relative to this one. It's really the only div box that's inside this one. So relative sounds like a good choice to me. So I'm going to go position relative. Again, remember, wouldn't be a bad idea to review this entire tutorial, the barely fits, which I found by searching CSS positioning 10 easy steps in Google. Alright, go through this whole tutorial one more time. Okay, so I'm going to use relative positioning. Okay, that alone isn't really going to do a whole lot of stuff for me. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to set the background color. So we know how to use background color. We experiment with it up there. So if you're not sure, okay, go back to your Google search. Alright. Alright, I'm going to search for site w3schools.com background CSS. Alright, and you can see it right here. So we're going to set the background color of this div and text box. Let's come back to here. Okay, so what we're going to do is go background color, and again, make sure you don't use the Canadian spelling of color. It's not going to work. Okay, and we're going to go white. Now let's just see our changes here. Okay, that's kind of what we want, but we want rounded corners and we want to be able to see through it. Alright, so in this case here, let's set the opacity 2.6. Okay, there you go. Let's see what that does. Right? Not 0.06, but 0.6. Let's see what that does. Okay, that looks kind of good. Now what we want to do is we want to work on kind of rounding the edges and maybe centering this information. So what we want to do is, now to find out about that, let's do Google again. Alright, we go to site w3 schools and see if we can find something here. So we're going to go CSS round borders, rounded corners tutorial. Okay, browser support, so try it yourself. Okay, so this is what we want to do. Okay, this tutorial will show you almost everything you need to know. Okay, and we're going to use this one here, WebKit. Now, a short explanation is the browser I'm using, Chrome, is what we call a WebKit. All right, so we want to use the WebKit one here. Where the heck am I? Links inside. Okay, and then for Firefox and Internet Explorer, you would have a different one. Let's see if we could find it here somewhere. Yeah. Okay. So here's a kind of a short example. So this is WebKit. Okay, and this is I believe that's Opera. All right. Oh, and Safari is also a WebKit browser. Okay. And some information about what is supported here. There you go. Okay, so we use the WebKit one because we're using Chrome. All right. So go dash WebKit. Okay, dash border dash radius. Okay, we'll make it a 10 pixel radius. Okay. So let's see what we have so far. Right here. Okay, that looks kind of nice. And just a pure curiosity, what happens if I get rid of this WebKit? Let me just see if it works. I'm actually not sure what's going to happen. So let's take a look at that. And it still works. What do you know? So I guess we don't really need that WebKit. In the old days, you would need the WebKit, but I guess not. Now, what if I go -O? Instead of WebKit -O, guess things have moved forward. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. Interesting. So guess what? We don't need the WebKit one, so let's not use it. Cool. Okay. And that brings me to the point. Like, if you're working on CSS, you're designing something in CSS, you would want to test it in all the current browsers. Okay, Internet Explorer, Safari, Firefox, Chrome, and what have you. Okay. Anyways, getting back to the point here. I guess the only thing left to do is to align the center. Okay. So let's go text align. I'm going to center it. See what that does. There you go. Okay, so we're done this part here. Just a little bit more styling to do here. The next tutorial, we're going to work on this kind of a talking bubble here. And you notice that it's flipped. You notice that I fit again a text box with a round quarter inside of it, and I have here a scroll bar as well. Okay, so we'll take a look at that. Oops. Alright. Also, next tutorial will probably fix this gap here as well. Okay, so I'll see you next time.